A lovely morning to you and much thanks for being with us on UBC TV. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. I don't know how the weather is treating you, but we are blessed by the good Lord, blessed by nature, and of course, the weather we have. That's why when Winston Churchill arrived in Uganda, many of you were not born, neither was I, but he looked at this wonderful country and said, this is the pearl of Africa. In one part of the country it can rain, while in the other part there is totally no rain. It can't be the mood you're seeing right now, the kind of weather, and a few hours from now, the sun pops out. We are gifted. I hope the farmers are taking the very best of the rains that we are having. Well, I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. That is in case you have just joined. This is the extra and extension of Good Morning Uganda that starts at 6:30 with the two beautiful ladies and the fantastic four bring joy to your room every morning. Now, this extension, I happen to be having two guests, people with good hearts. Allow me to use that word. People with good hearts. Why? Because these are people who choose that from what they have made, they give back to communities with no direct intended benefits. When a politician does that, we would say they are serving their people. When a man of God does it, we would say, yes, it is ministry, even Jesus fed the hungry. But when a young man, a young woman who earns salary or they're in their business, but they get part of what they have earned and give to communities they even never know to help them, they join noble causes, I want to say they are people of good hearts. Now, what am I meaning? I have Rotaracts. I have two Rotaracts with me in studios. I happen to be having this morning Rotaract. I hope that is the right title. Rotaract Edwin Muyunga, who is the magical president, Rotaract Kampala North. Rotaract, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. And good morning, viewers. Happy to have you all here.
And just next to me, I have Rotaract Joseph Batesengova, who is the district Rotaract representative, Rotary District 9214, Uganda and Tanzania. You're most welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Uganda. I am so excited to be here this morning.
Now, today I want to look at the reasons why one should join Rotaract. But to begin with, when we talk about this whole thing, the kids, I think they are called Kid Rotaract, so Rota Kids. Now, when you join school, you're in the Interact Club. Now, after some time, you're in a Rotaract Club. Then later here, you become a Rotarian. Now, please, for our viewer, kindly take us through this whole circle so that it may make sense to those that may have no information or just hear and see the good things that Rotaracts do. Yes, Muhumuza.
Good morning once again, and thank you very much, Robert, for the opportunity to be here to present about Rotaract. Specifically about the question, if I may just start with Rotaract itself. If you look at, in terms of age, if you are a young adult, 18 and above, and you want to do good in the communities where you stay, but you also want to advance your professional leadership in terms of career or in terms of even networking, the right piece is joining Rotaract. But what is Rotaract itself? This is a group of young professionals attached to Rotary International. Rotary International is a global organization, but specifically if I speak of age, like you put it, if somebody is still young or in primary school or something, there will be Rota Kids. If you have a kid at home and you're very passionate about Rotary, you carry them to every event that you go, they are Rota Kids. When you join high school, or call them secondary schools, you join the Interact clubs. And those are the clubs you move on up to maybe when you join tertiary institution. And when you join a tertiary institution, we have what we call institutional-based clubs. These are clubs that are attached to those institutions. For example, if I went to Makerere University, I'll be attached to the Rotaract Club of Makerere University. If I went to Chambogo, Busitema, the same across. Even if it's a tertiary institution, if I went to a nursing school, I'll be attached to maybe the Rotaract Club of Mildmay School of Health Sciences. So everywhere they are, they can actually make changes in the communities where they stay. So when you elevate and maybe start getting some money, you join what we call community-based clubs. And community-based clubs, these do bigger projects. You see the cycle where we moved from kids to high school to IBCs. They do bigger projects like we shall see. But then, even in terms of capacity, given now that you are starting to earn a bit of income, your per capita is increasing. So you find yourself that you do more works in the community. So they are called community-based clubs. This is where you will find Rotaract Club of Weugiri Nambole, Rotaract Club of Kampala North, Rotaract Club of Webaja, and mention it. There are very many Rotaract clubs. I'll give you the statistics with time, Olivena, my dear. So when the fifth goal of Rotaract is to advance and transition to a Rotary Club. When you join a Rotary Club, it's like your family forever until the Lord gives you that calling that come to me. So when you advance and join a Rotary Club, it implies you be called a Rotarian. Yeah? We are called Rotaractors. So Rotarians also do bigger projects, but still the calling is the same: service above self and doing good in the communities where we stay. You don't need to stay in Kampala to join a club. Clubs are everywhere, and you can do changes in communities where you stay, or even get the benefits that we shall discuss at a certain point. Thank you very much.
Very interesting. You've taken us through the stages from the kids, school, and all that. But now I want to come to my brother just next to me. This whole thing of Rotaract, you know, what is the aim? Is it just a social club? What is its history? Because when I was growing up, I must say this, I didn't have so much information about Rotaracts, but I had the end side of it, Rotary. Now, in my village, we believe that those that have made money and reached a certain level, you join Rotary. You know, it's a group, and on our village, the arrival of a Rotarian would come with glory. Because if you go for prayers on Christmas and you see a unique car that has never entered the village, this car, it belongs to a Rotarian. If it is giving, contributing, and you hear a hand, I'm giving 1M, you know, village church, you turn. The person, that is Rotarian. So, we want to help us understand this. Is it a club for the rich? Is it that you attain status? Now when you're still in this middle age, Rotaract, when you surface, you know, break, dissect this whole thing about Rotary.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very wonderful question. And to help answer the question, I would like to mention that Rotary and Rotaract, or Rotary International, is a global non-profit organization. Currently, we stand at statistics of 1.4 million members worldwide, and that's just the Rotarians. The Rotaract is not yet there. We haven't gotten to a million, but we are many. We come together from different walks of life, and what brings us together is one: serving humanity. And that's it. Rotary, why people refer to Rotary as an organization for the rich, I think it's because this is the only organization where you are required to pay to serve. You subscribe on an annual basis, and that money is what we actually use to go and serve our communities. We are also a very structured organization. We don't just go and, you know, do service here. We have areas of focus that we put our attention on, and these areas of focus are 7. The first one is disease prevention and treatment, water hygiene and sanitation, basic education and literacy, supporting local economies, peace and conflict, not not resolution, but prevention. We want to make sure that they don't happen. So peace and conflict prevention. And then finally, we also have, I think, maternal and child health. So all these 7 areas, supporting the environment, all these 7 areas is where we place our, emphasis in the different projects that we are doing. Wherever you go, if you went to China, if you went to Japan, if you went to, our neighbors in Kenya, all their projects that they're going to be doing are going to be aligned with that. Now, speaking about Rotaract itself, Rotaract also has, apart from the 7 areas of focus that we bring all of us together, we also have goals that guide us. And Rotaract has 5. The first is to develop profession and leadership skills. So we are calling young people out there to come if you are looking for an opportunity to grow your leadership skills and grow professionally. That's our first goal. The second one is to emphasize respect for the rights of others and to promote ethical standards and the dignity of all useful occupations. Now, it is Rotaract, we are young people. It is at this stage that people need to learn the values of work, need to learn ethics, need to learn respecting people. Respecting, without respect, you can't move anywhere.
Definitely.
So that is the second one. The third is to provide opportunity for young people to address the needs and concerns of the community and our world. As young people, we have a tendency of complaining about everything. Oh, this is not right, this should have been like this. So Rotaract gives you an opportunity in the third goal to come and address those challenges and needs that you want to see better. So we want to create a world that we want to see. That is the third goal. The fourth is to provide opportunity for working in cooperation with sponsoring Rotary clubs. And that is where mentorship comes in, that we have us as Rotaractors here, but we have the Rotarians a little here. Although right now, Rotary and Rotaract are both membership types of Rotary, so we are kind of on the same level. The only difference is probably in terms of age, but we literally do the same things. Like I said in the beginning, we have the same areas of focus. But they put that fourth goal to allow, the Rotaractors like myself to come closer to the Rotarians to mentor them. And then finally, the last one, like Edwin said, is for eventual membership into Rotary. So you become a Rotarian. And believe me, for young people out there that have started from developing their professions, respecting one another, addressing the needs of the community, working in cooperation with their sponsoring clubs, they become Rotarians. I want to give myself as an example. He spoke about, where we started from. I'm a former interactor of the Interact Club of Chitende SS. When I left Chitende, I went to the Rotaract Club of Webaja. And now I double as a Rotaractor and a Rotarian of the Rotary Club of Galga. But what brings all of us together is the fact that we want to see the world better, we want to create impact, we want to see people happy, and it is service to humanity. Now, I also, now that we're national TV, I must also bring this to light. Why are we too scared to associate with the rich? Who wants to associate with the poor? Because when you see people saying, Rotary is for the rich, do you want to be with the poor? So we are not, I don't want to say at any point that, no, I don't want to tell people, no, Rotary is not for the rich. We have the money. And that's why we have the opportunity to go and serve communities. You can't give from an empty cup. So I don't want to say, come here and tell people, no. Oh yes, we say it's for the rich at heart. So we may not have the zillions and trillions of money, but what we have, we believe, is enough for us to take care of ourselves and also give other people. So when we come to the villages, like you said, and we give $1 million, it's because I have $1 million to give and I have another $1 million to keep for myself. And that's Rotary.
Oh, Uganda still has honest people.
Maybe Robert.
Just a minute. Yeah. Uganda still has honest people in terms of talking. There are many words we shun away from. But a young man confessing and speaking the truth honestly, who wants to associate with the poor? I hope you don't. Because I'm not so much into that. But the big thing is giving.
Yeah.
Maybe what we should emphasize here is you don't have to have much to give. It's the rich heart that you have, because someone can have a lot of money and they're not willing to give. One person once told me, analyze how many people, who are the specific groups of people that give beggars on the streets. Well, one day I was walking down town, I said, let me follow this. It was hectic because I had to make a number of rotations. But one thing I discovered, I didn't see the rich giving the beggars. I saw those you'd think, and I'm like, but this is the person who has put the coin there.
The rich at heart.
The rich at heart. So it's all about the rich at heart that do give. Yes, trying to supplement something, brother.
Yeah, just picking up from where you have taken. I'm a scholar, and I always want to highlight this. There's what they call Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you have come across that theory, is that our needs as human beings differ in different places. When you start from basic that you actually need up there where we have self-actualization. So majority of the times you'll see that we do these things, but it is self-actualization that when I do this, I give back to the communities, or I go down there and we give clean water, or even do menstruation hygiene talks and all that. It as a person, it gives you peace at heart that I did that, and you are very, like you said, rich at heart. So if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we have what we call self-actualization. That when I go and I speak to Robert at a certain point, my needs are good. So when we go out there and we serve communities, we give back, you go and rest at peace that I touched somebody's life, I mentored someone, I managed to connect someone somewhere, and things are working their way. Yeah.
I love that. I managed to connect somehow, and things are working well. Now let's look at the Rotaracts I have here. Let's now look at first, how does one become a Rotaract? Yes, we've talked about the ages, you know, from the kids, but how, if anyone watching us, if they feel they want to be part of this group of people, what is the procedure? Yes.
I'll talk about two things, and then I'll let Edwin talk about the procedure and what. Me, I want, before we even go to procedure, the first thing you have is a desire. Are you willing to serve above self? Are you willing to spare, you know, a coin so that you can give another person? That is where it starts. Do you feel like there is need in the world that you can be a part of? There's something we didn't mention about, but you know, we spoke about these clubs and what, but Rotary has now gone ahead and said, can we start doing cause-based clubs? People would say, we want to support the environment, and that's where the interest is. Someone would say, there's a lot of human trafficking, and I want to concentrate on serving to stop human trafficking. So if there is a need that you want to change, or you want to be a part of in that elevation to make the world a better place, that is where it starts. So you start with a desire, I want to give, I want to serve, and then what exactly do you want to do? Because we don't want people to come and say, you know, there's lots of misconceptions that happen there. Or there's a lot of jobs, there's what. If that is it, then probably you're not ready. Yes. It must start with, do you want to change someone's life? Do you have a desire to change? Now, once you have those two, then Edwin, what happens?
If you have those two, and Robert, to yourself, Rotary or Rotaract is by invitation. Somebody needs to invite you at a certain day, maybe. Can you come and attend our fellowship? Can you come and attend our project? And from that, the process is really, really very seamless, like I will outline. If you're watching me here and you really want to join Rotaract, the steps are very easy. You show up first for the projects or at a club fellowship. A fellowship is a weekly gathering where we have specific topics that we are talking about. Of late, we had a waste management issue in our neighborhood. You would find that the topics this week in our clubs are centered around waste management. What are we doing? Rotarians are coming out together to see that we actually get a solution to some of the things that are affecting our people. Not because they actually don't live in these neighborhoods, but combined hands. So when you go for such a project, and maybe you speak to a person or two, it implies the person who invited you, and now that you have showed up, you will get to the membership director of any club that you want. The factors are very many. where you would actually ask, which club should I join? Robert, where do you stay?
Stay in Machindi.
Machindi. There are very many clubs there. And one of the factors one considers is location. It can be location of your job. That Robert, I work here, and maybe it will be very easy for me to get out at lunchtime and I attend a 1-hour fellowship and come back, or after work. Or it is easier to come from my place on a Sunday and I actually join in. So different days, clubs meet on different days, they meet in different locations and for different topics every week. So the factors are clear. Your location, maybe where you work, your family, and all the other factors. Maybe you associate with a certain level of people, and that is where you want to. He spoke about caused Rotary clubs, clubs that focus maybe on greening the environment, planting trees and all that. We have clubs or fellowships that have malaria. They are fighting malaria, and that's where they actually. Your passion is to see a malaria-free Uganda. So if you find your purpose, like he said, then you're able to join a club that does things that are in that direction. Clubs are all over Uganda that you can actually join. So when you come in and you approach a membership director, you'll be placed ideally under mentorship, because you have very many questions. Do I need to have this X amount of money? When do I do this? When do I do? All of those are actually answered within your mentorship. We always attach you to somebody who is senior to walk you through your journey in terms of acquisition of knowledge, and actually where you reach a certain point and you say, okay, I have enough knowledge now, I can be inducted. So even through when you're having that mentorship, it can take on months, and they are not always very many. Trust me, when you have the zeal to do something, you'll also inject in time to learn a few things, and you find yourself actually doing very more in terms of execution. So when mentorship is done, maybe you deemed ready to actually join a club. Then you're inducted into the club. You'll get what we call a lapel pin, something like this. A lapel pin is an identification that shows you, if I walk into a room and I have my lapel pin, you can easily identify that one is a Rotarian. This one is not, the other one is, and with time, you understand why people wear their lapel pins. If you can actually even look at his.
This one has a golden one.
He'll explain about it. But you're pinned with a lapel pin to just put you into the community of Rotaractors or Rotarians, and you become part of the global network that changes people's lives. But even that, we want to watch, was it excitement that brought you here, and maybe through the mentorship you have been very green, having everything spot on. So we put you also under probation. Probation to watch how actually you walk through the first 3 months. And if we see that you're able now to farm yourself and walk through without even any support, then you are fully a member of that club. But your mentor is your mentor for life. Mentorship doesn't end. And I'll tell you, you learn a few things, even if somebody is younger, can be your mentor at certain things. I learned that when somebody invited me. Our generation has gone so digital that people who are upstairs need mentorship from the youth about the digital age and how actually these things work. So mentorship doesn't stop, and you continue straight until maybe you transition to a Rotary club. So that is the journey, very small like this, but the passion that somebody has really drives this. And you will find it is different for every club. The mentorship period is different for every club, because clubs have different experiences and things you have to work on. But clubs also have strategic plans. Like he said, we focus on 7 areas. But we also, in those 7 areas, you find a club that handles 3, 4, 7, all of them. And when you learn all that and you're able to actually give in what you have at a certain point, you join a Rotary club. What do I need to mention? He said membership, we pay to serve. So ideally, every year we have what we call annual dues. You subscribe to a club and you pay their dues. Dues are different to every club. And you don't, my viewer out there who wants to join a club, don't go out there and they told me we pay 50,000 at the other club. This club has told me 2 million. It's because of the caliber. So I go back to the factors I told you. The dues amount the club pays, the location where you stay, maybe your workplace, the friend circle and all that you actually want to tap in. So those are the few factors. You need to be very compliant with how you get onto your dues. But also, you shouldn't pay your dues and you don't show up. We can get you your dues and you go with them. So you need to be an active member in a club, that you don't actually become dead weight to the club, that the club is not able to perform because maybe 10 members out of 25 just pay their dues and they don't even show up. So who is going to take the clothes we are collecting to Chitezi when everyone wants to pay their dues and stay at their home and take a cup of coffee? So I hope that gives some light on what the journey looks like. But it's very interesting if one wants to take it. And it is very short if you have passion. You can even take it for 3 months and you remember. Yeah.
Now, this brings me back away from Edwin. I come back to you. You've mentioned the process. And I must say, if I've seen any social group, because you're not an non-government organization, I hope it's polite enough if I say a social group that is organized. I must say the Rotaracts are very organized. But the issue then comes in, why should I join Interact? I mean, why should I join Rotaract? Sorry, I was in the Interact club, so it comes back a bit. Why should I join why should I become a Rotaract? Why should I join new people? And this is what you're going to start with when we come out of this short break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Cultural Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Engine for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096 100 or +254 795 806 969. Visit www.eaukTourismExpo.com to register.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
So dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, Baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A few years ago, we identified a place in Mityana called Kachindu, and we wanted to create these changes in this place. So we decided to do a needs assessment around the community, and we found out quite a number of things that were very interesting and needed interventions. We started out at a school called Malwa Umea Primary School, and some of the challenges they faced were facilities for education. At that time, we found a classroom block that had a fully grown anthill, almost the size of a fully grown human being, and the floors were dusty, and we were being told that kids were actually getting jiggers out of this. They also had another place, another building that had been decommissioned by the ministry, simply because it was in bad shape and it was almost falling down. Now the other challenge they had was water sources around the community. There were quite a number of boreholes that had been established before, but many of these were dry, and then they used to get water from shallow wells, or if you want safer water, you had to trek miles to get water. So the kids in the school would waste about 30 minutes to go and try to get water, and this would affect the education time. It was too much for us. So when we go back to Kampala, when we regrouped and we're like, what do we do for this place? That is when the idea to adopt the entire village comes up. And we're like, you know what? Let's just take on this community, and we implement the 7 areas of focus around this place. The club started with that.
Well, that is a short video showing the works or the project, one of the many projects of Rotaracts in a particular area. And I'll just give you a minute just to add a little more information of the video we've just been seeing, where exactly and what is this project more focusing on? Yeah. Briefly, please.
Thank you very much. The project you have just seen is an area we adopted in Mityana. It's an entire village called Kachindu. And we always do what we call a project needs assessment. We come to your home to see what are the things that, how things are working. And when we identify areas of improvement, then we get back and put together our resources and come. So specifically with that school, or even the village, we found out that their enrollment levels were actually low. So the community, as you always know, the only way you can empower people is by providing education. So we tried to look into basic education and literacy as one of the things. But when even we got to know that the school children don't enroll, then the few that had enrolled, we found that they spend much time going to fetch water at the well, approximately 30 to 1 hour every day to actually pick that. So that pushed us to water and sanitation. Before we knew it, we actually found out that now the mothers of these kids who give birth to them, they're actually even having difficulties at the health center. So that drove us to maternal and child health. So a problem to another problem to another problem. But how do we do this? We have a strategic plan that every year, our year starts in July 1st and ends in June. We shall do a piecemeal of every bit, and maybe this is what we need to deliver this year. And we have done this that was the 4th edition of this project, and this year we shall also go back. So now we want to empower the community, train the men that have grown up, maybe carpentry and all that, provide, maybe also construct a classroom block and even a multi-purpose hall for the community to actually use. So we always do health camps to just treat people there. And so if you look at the impact that we have created in those communities, we have very many success stories about kids that have grown. And like you said, now your passion or your happiness comes in to see that a kid who was 2 years or 5 years old at a certain point and they didn't have light or even a future, they have actually now grown up. They are even starting to work and even get back to their communities to actually improve it more. So that is where the niche comes in, that you want to serve. You want to get a piece of your resources that you have and give. to the club. But definitely we don't do this alone. We have partners that we work with, like yourself, who help us put together these stories out there to see. I was very hesitant at a certain point when somebody told me, we need to take pictures when we go to these projects. I told them, when you do good, you need to do it, and you don't show. But then later we actually learned that we need to tell about these good stories. Somebody out there like you, Robert, doesn't know that there's a global organization like Rotary or Rotaract that can actually put together its resources and go and actually impact on those communities. So when we air out such stories, maybe we inspire a person or a company that can get onto these projects, and we create a bigger impact than actually what we had anticipated. Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, so good that we have people who are out there, this group of people, to help, and help, because there's so much need out there. But away from government, the work is so much, but little are Ugandans thinking of saying, no, I can help a brother out. So the government. And I'm happy that Rotary International in Uganda, we have the kids you talked about, have these different categories, and the movement is growing. The movement is growing. Every day the movement is growing. So please join. You can be a Rotaract. You can be in school, join the Interact Club. At institutional level, there is an abbreviation you said.
IBC.
IBC. Then finally at the end of the journey, you are Rotarian. Now, I'm aware that you're going to be having a cancer run. And Joseph, please take us through this.
Thank you very much. I think if you know Rotary, you've also seen that annually we come together with like-minded individuals, Rotarians, non-Rotarians, I mean everyone, to do a run. Now we are not just running for fitness, even though fitness is part of it, but we are running to create awareness about cancer. You know, cancer is a deadly disease. There are millions of people that die every day. And as a country, we don't have so much resources that do that. So treat cancer. So Rotary came together and said that we are going to be doing a cancer run every year to raise funds to support cancer. We are building bunkers in Zambia Hospital. You know, there's progress that has come out. So every year, this kit that we have here has, you know, goes for only 30,000, and with this 30,000, less than $10, there's great that you're going to do. There's going to be, you know, thousands of people coming to the tens of thousands that are coming to run. And when you come to run, this year we are going to be running from commercial grounds this Sunday, and prior to that, actually on Saturday, we are going to have an exhibition. There are people that are going to come and be treated and what. So we are doing 2 days this year. Then on Sunday, that's when we do the run. Because we are here, and I lead Rotaract in Uganda and Tanzania, I want to take this honor and privilege to give you this one as your kit. I don't want the 30,000. I want to be that Rotarian that you spoke about in the village. I brought the kit.
Whose presence is felt.
I brought the kit, and I want to invite you to come. And again, to all the viewers out there, you can pick these kits from any Centenary Bank branches, I think Capital Shoppers, and so many other locations. Please buy the kit, come and run, and let us raise money to support, you know, to build a bunker so that these people that are suffering with cancer can have treatment in our country. Away from the cancer. Cancer is
take it in good faith.
In good faith.
Thank you so much.
I hope you will come and run.
Definitely,
yes,
I'll come and run.
And the good thing again, that as even after the run, this thing is nice material. You can continue wearing it and what, and we continue to create the awareness. Now, away from cancer, Edwin spoke very well about the project that the Rotaract Club of Kampala North has done in Kakindu. Prior to my becoming a district Rotaract representative, last year I served as a district planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation chair. Now, in short, it's PIME. My role was to evaluate the work that Rotaractors are doing. On a monthly basis, I received reports from over 87 clubs to access impact, see what is happening, offer guidance and what. And 1 month, I took particular interest in understanding these small projects. Cancer Run is big, but I wanted to see how much a Rotaract is spending on these small projects that they're doing. Donation of mama kits, giving books, cleanups and what. And that 1 month when I did an assessment, as a district, these small Rotaract clubs had done projects that were worth 120 million in 1 month. Now, we do that throughout the year, and those are local resources that we are getting. It shows that if you want to be a part of people that want to give back and you're able to see great things happen, Rotaract is a place to be. I also want to share a story. This year I'm running a project called the Island Impact Initiative. I'm running Rotaractors to go on islands. Actually today we are going to Formula Island to do a medical camp and do it because people are badly off there. But it came from because Rotaract is not just about service, we also have fun. So my club, the Rotaract Club of Ebaja, where I come from 4 years ago, went to Kalangala Island, for a retreat. We are having fun and what. And then we decided and said, must we just come and have fun all the time? Can't we add a component of a project? Then we went to Formula Island, where I found out that there was no toilet at all. We wanted to ease ourselves. There was
an island, there is no toilet.
No toilet at all, no functioning toilet.
Okay.
And my club came together, collected resources, and we put up the first biodigester toilet on that island. Then 2 boreholes and what. But then we went to another island where we did needs assessment that he spoke about. We sat in a focused group of women, asking them, where do you want us to serve? How do you want us to help? And the woman, said, right now in Uganda, nze bwe mumpayo emitwalo 3 mba nnyingidde ggulu. And my question is why? Ze neetaaga okugula pakiti y'eŋŋano, ze neetaaga okugula buto, ntandika okusiika amandaazi wano, abantu bajja gagula, njafuna sente ezimala to take my kids to school. And we are speaking 30,000, that is less than $1. But if we traveled back and went back to the mainland, that is enough money that I needed to buy a fish. But that is what someone needs for capital. You see now, these small things that could be done to create impact and make people happy is why we are asking you that is viewing us to come and join Rotary.
Yes.
And join Rotary. You don't need to have a lot. There are small things that could be done. There's a time when, again, speaking of Cancer Run, I took old Cancer Run vests and gave them to islanders just to be happy and put them on. And I received the picture on Christmas. Christmas people are supposed to be putting on their very best, but they were putting on Cancer Run vests in church. And that was their best that time. Now, if you think about that, there is a lot of work that you and I can do. Yes. And that is why we are here today to invite you. Just yesterday, the Rotary Club of Kajansi and Rotaract District 9214, and again, 9213, all these, I don't want to go into details and what, but clubs, they flagged off tricycle village ambulances. Because in Kampala here, we think transport is easy, but in those, up country, transport is difficult, and these ambulances are doing a lot of great work. If you go to the blood bank in Mengo, that was built by Rotarians, and every month, every year, we are collecting units of blood and what. Last year, a few years ago, we launched a project, the Rotary Vijana Power Project. Vijana Power is a Swahili word that means youth are cool, and the idea was to make sure that every young person is out there working and they have money in their pockets. And that is why we are inviting you to come. So if you want to create a difference in the world, Rotaract is a place to be. Start this weekend with the Cancer Run. Join us on other weekends for other projects. There's literally a project every single weekend that we are doing. And that means every single weekend we are changing lives and we are creating impact.
Wow, I enjoyed listening to you, more so when you are explaining how much that you're giving for a genuine cause. Because in your explanation, I didn't hear anything that is more of directly personal gain. So please, let's join. This is a noble cause. It's a noble cause, and I believe the more the numbers, the more change we can create. Well, time seems to be flying, and Edwin, I'll just take your parting shot.
Yeah, viewers out there who are seeing me and friends of Rotaract and Rotary, this week we've been running a campaign, It's Time to Join Rotaract. the world needs very many Rotaractors and Rotarians to make that change we need. There is a magic in the numbers, because imagine if we have 100 people that join through this campaign, and each of them maybe they will give 5,000 or 50,000. Even if it's 5,000, imagine we are getting cancer run kits, and it is over 1 million people that are buying the kits. So why we're actually rallying people to come and join the cause is because the numbers do magic. The numbers go out there and do everything that you need. But I also want to invite you, because your professional and leadership skills need to be touched. Your networking abilities need to be touched. Your community service and self-actualization that you get after changing somebody's life is what you need to join this club. But over and above that, like he said, the fun is also part of the pool that we actually have. But that said, I thank you very much for hosting us here, and I invite you to join Rotaract. It's time to join Rotaract.
Well, I can't add on more. They have explained, they have invited you, but please make sure you join the cancer run, because to be honest, cancer is a very challenging disease in this 21st century. Cancer cases are increasing. Let's join the noble cause to ensure that people do not fly out of Uganda, but they can be treated and stand to be counted that you made a contribution. Get the kit, be there, let's have the fun as we help in the treatment and saving lives of Ugandans. I want to thank you so much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed hearing and having people of good hearts that are giving for no direct benefit. See you tomorrow, God willing. Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Have a lovely day.
Live from UBC